Hello, Port Harcourt. Welcome to another open edition on Today FM. Today is day 96. Our President Muhammadu Buhari is still not back in the country. The presidency has struggled to explain the president's absence to Nigerians, but has now admitted that the leader of Africa's most populous nation has been seriously ill, but they say he's now recuperating. As we pray for our president's recovery, Nigerians across the country are asking some crucial questions. When will he be back? What exactly is wrong with the president? Do we have the right to know? Loretta Onoche, one of the special advisors on new media to the president a few days ago, said on Channels TV that asking about the president's health is disrespectful because the president is a private citizen. What? But that hasn't gone down well with some Nigerians, and there have been different opinions on the matter. Some Nigerians are already protesting and calling for the president to resume or resign. And the presidency is not taking that. Also, the presidency has, in a sharp reaction, dismissed the demand, saying that the president fulfilled every constitutional demand on him before his medical vacation, adding that the government is focused on its agenda on fighting corruption, insurgency, and fixing the economy. Malam Garba Shehu, who is one of the president's special assistants, in this reaction has also said that the demonstration that, these guys are doing is actually constitutional and okay if they embark on it peacefully. But he has also said that on demanding the president's return or resignation or certain explanations, Garba Shehu says that they have clearly overstepped their bounds. He says that the president has complied 100% with the constitution by handing over power to Vice President Yemi Osinbajo before proceeding on his vacation. He says that the president has not breached any law or any constitution by staying away from office to take care of his health. And he says that any such calls made by the MyMumu Don't Do group, which is the group of protesters, or any other group, represents an irrational assault. That's exactly what he used. He says it represents an irrational assault on the constitution and should be ignored. Well, we can talk about this without quoting Lai Mohammed. Lai Mohammed, the president's, or rather the Minister of Information, says that the most important thing is that government is working and that we have not missed one single Federal Executive Council meeting since he left. Also, he says that we have not missed any National Economic Council meeting, and whatever needs to be done is being done because there are serious consultations between the acting president and the president himself. And so Mr. Lai Mohammed says that I do not see the hoopla about the president being away. But you see, when Osasu Benedio, an independent journalist, asked if he has spoken to the president, Lai Mohammed simply said that he consults with people around the president. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Ross Alabo-George, and this is Open Edition. I'm here with my co-facilitator, Robinson Tombari, Sibe. Eugene Abels in the controls will be joining us shortly. And then we'll be talking also to Deji Adeyanju, one of the organizers of the MyMumu Don't Do protest. Deji will be joining us from Abuja. And we'll be asking the questions in the right time. We'll open the phone lines and we'll get your contributions also. Deji Adeyanju, he's organizing the protest with Charlie Boy. And for a full week right now, they've been in the headlines all through the week. And Deji Adeyanju has said that the president cannot continue to remain in London infinitum, and Osinbajo cannot continue infinitum as acting president. Deji Adeyanju says that they are holding the country to ransom, and it is not by force for the president to remain president. And it is time to invoke Section 144 of the Constitution. Gentlemen, Robinson Tombari, Sibe, welcome to the studio. Mr. Eugene Abels, welcome to the studio. This is Open Edition. I'll be back after the break. Hello, gentlemen. Welcome. Robinson Tombari, Sibe, co-facilitator on Open Edition. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Mr. Eugene Abels on the controls has just stepped in. I don't know why Eugene was held up in traffic. He usually stops up at the coffee corner, Mr. Eugene, welcome to the show. We'll also be joined later on the show by Mr. Deji Adeyanju, who is the organizer of the MyMumu Don't Do protests in Abuja. And then he'll be telling us exactly what this is about. Why are they harassing our president, our dear president? Why won't they just allow him to recover gently? So we'll be taking your calls much later. Albert Tombari, what do you think? What do you think is the way forward for the country now? Should the president be left alone to recover, or are those protesting? Do they have a right to their protest? Are they making sense?
Yeah, definitely they have a right to their protests, and not just about rights. I think it is important at this point that such questions should be asked. We have had a nation currently now who is being led by an acting president, and we don't have a vice president effectively because he's stepped up and merged both offices. And you look at it, 3 months plus now, and the leader, the commander-in-chief, is not back in the office. It's not at home. We don't have a definitive knowledge of what really is wrong with him. In fact, at the time he left, by the way, this is the 4th time he is leaving in 2 years. The first time was February 2006, second time June 2006, the third time January 2007, and then this last one May 2007. It's important to look at all this and ask questions. You need, as citizens, we should ask questions. Did he satisfy the Constitution before he left? Yes, he did. In accordance with Section 145, he did transmit a letter. Although the last letter was a bit shrouded in ambiguity because of the fact that, I don't know whether mischief or something, he was called a coordinator rather than, taking the rightful word of the acting president. So, given that precedence, I think it's important for people to ask questions. Where is your president? Where is your commander-in-chief? Also look at the events of late. There has been an upsurge in violent activities up north. Within this period of his absence, oil workers...
Sorry, even while the president was here, we have had some of this security incidents.
Yes, we have had...
Has there really been any definitive gap in government? Because Lai Mohammed says that, listen, there is no need for a hoopla. There's no vacuum in government. So is there anything that you see that should have been different or will have been different?
Let me give you one clear example I always give. Before the president left, he mandated the acting president to investigate the whole Osborne Gate and the grass cutting scandal. And that report was ready since, because he gave them a deadline for that report to be ready. But the excuse we hear is that because it's not around, the vice president now acting cannot submit a report. It defeats the law of, ask the vice president to submit the report to himself. So that is one clear case. Then secondly, why I chose the issue of, the ambush in Borno is that the president, against good counsel from some people, still kept the petroleum position to himself as petroleum minister. So his absence today also have a doubling effect on the petroleum sector.
But doesn't it also mean that the acting president is now the acting minister of petroleum?
Before the president left, the acting president's desk was already full. He doubles as he coordinates the economy. There are lots of agencies statutorily that are, though not written in law, but are shifted to the vice president. And his hands were already full at the time. So right now, he cannot be vice president,
he's not complaining.
Acting president. He won't complain because he has to be a good partner to, of course, why do you expect him to complain?
But he's a small man, but big ability.
But above all, fundamentally, nobody has told us. I don't mean all these people. They are media aides. No medical doctor. The president, he has a personal physician that is paid, has not come forward to say, this is what is wrong with Mr. President. This is his expected recovery time or recovery path, and all that. He's not the first president to be ill. And everybody, including myself, we're all humans. We'll be ill someday. But he is the number one citizen. He's a public servant. He is there and he's paid for everything he's doing is paid for by taxpayers.
By taxpayers and oil payers.
And oil resources, yes. So I expect that we should be briefed as citizens. When Boris Yeltsin went for an open heart surgery, his physician, before and after, addressed the press. Even when his heart was shut down for 6 hours.
As secretive as the Russian,
as secretive as the Kremlin.
Kremlin can be.
They shut down his heart for 6. They even said they will do it. After they finished, they said we shut down his heart for so time.
But I heard he had the nuclear codes. Like
he of course
he had a padlock in his hand.
He handcuffed it in his hands, and he also actually did transmit power within the period. The moment he regained consciousness, he got the power back. But the bottom line is the citizens were carried along.
Now that is the Kremlin. Mr. Abels, what exactly is wrong with the president? He's handed over constitutionally. He has handed over, as in he handed over, even though they asked the vice president to be coordinating. Has this absence, has the president's absence, has it affected government? Do you think it has affected government? Is it enough? Is it people are calling for the president to resume or resign? Is that a just call?
President Buhari applied to be the number 1 civil servant of the country.
He did?
Yes. And
he did 3 times.
It's an aberration. It's madness for you to be out of office for 90 days and no reasons. No organization employs you without a medical...
I think they gave reasons.
A pre-medical checkup.
Okay.
And if you have certain ailments, they will not employ you.
What are you suggesting?
Now, ideally, we're supposed to run tests on those who apply for that number 1 position. But in this instance, we didn't.
No, but the Constitution does not say that.
Yes, no problem. The Constitution does not provide for everything. That's why you have the civil service rules and some other rules that govern, basic protocols that govern our society. We're in Today FM. If our brother here does not come to work for 90 days, you know what will naturally happen. There's nothing wrong in being ill. By the way, have you ever thought about this? What if the president has been kidnapped? It has happened before.
Like Mohammed says that he's in constant touch
how can
with
you
people around
listen
the president.
to people, they will be pointing at photographs, photo shoots. Now he's in Europe, very close to the BBC and CNN London. Why can't he have a media chat with them?
He sent a Salah message on Salah Day.
Tape recording. All these things can be doctored. Day before yesterday, we saw the Cartoon Network thing that was doctored. Now Cartoon Network has come to say, this is not part of our publication. DSTV, they've disclaimed it. Now, we cannot get to this level. There's nothing wrong in being sick. There is nothing absolutely wrong. But we must not allow history to repeat itself. What if this man is no longer legible? What if this man is being held against his will? I know Buhari to be a very honorable man, that if he looks at a situation, he will take certain decisions for the interest of this country, which he suffered so much. Don't forget, it was Buhari that kept Chad in check. Don't forget, even the Bakassi time. Don't forget the things Buhari has done for Nigeria. And he was hell-bent on running for office because he wanted to change things. And you saw, when we started, it was all about body language. Right now, the body language is confusing. The Constitution will not provide for everything for you. But as a people who have come of this age, Rivers State is 50 years old. Imagine how old Nigeria is. That today you cannot even understand. You have basic protocols to know what is happening to your president. You have the presidential jet parked in London. You are acquiring bills that are unbudgeted for. He is there. It's not all just about money. It makes all of us look as if we're in a banana republic.
The way you're saying, Mr. Abels, yes. you sounded like the president would be willing to actually communicate, but that there is a group of people, a cabal around him.
The man is being held against his own will. When a man is sick, he's not in a position to take certain decisions for himself.
That is your opinion.
That's what happens. Yes, it happened. We saw Yaradua. That's one thing I hold against Jonathan. Good luck with Jonathan. That he didn't probe the handling of Yaradua. I would have sent all those people to prison, including his wife. Yes, because he's a public figure.
All right.
The number 1 citizen of the country was held against his will. And nobody knew until the man passed on. And they smuggled him into this country. So the people in this present government were actors in that misdemeanor.
I like that stand push. Now we're going to listen to people who share your same view. Deji Adeyanju is one of the organizers of the Our Mumu Don't Do protest in Abuja, and they've been on the news for the whole week organizing a sit-out protest in Abuja, and they're calling for the president to either resume or resign. So I'm going to be talking to Deji. I'm going to be asking Deji. Deji Adeyanju, hello, how are you? Thank you. You're on Today FM and you're talking to Port Harcourt. Deji.
God bless you guys, man. You guys are doing.
Deji, why are you people harassing Mr. President? What exactly? Why are you harassing the president? Why are you calling for the president to resume or resign? Why are you and Charlie Boy doing this to the president? Can you just explain exactly on the more serious notes, what the purpose of the MyMumu Don't Do campaign is about?
It's not.
As Nigerians say that our MyMumu don't do collectively, the movement of resume and resign is very simple. We are not interested in engaging government in lies and propaganda. We don't have the leisure and time.
Exactly.
Nigerians have been patient enough for the last 95 days. Nigerians do not know what is wrong with their president. No Nigerian knows. Oshibajo, who is supposed to be acting president, does not know. And we are of the view that the wife of the president as well does not know. You, the media, you don't know. Or do you, the media, do you people know what is wrong with the president?
We only know what Lai Mohammed tells us.
No Nigerian knows. And it is within our right to know what is wrong with our president and commander-in-chief. The president is not a private citizen, like
exactly.
It's been said by an aide of the president. The president is a public servant voted by the Nigerian people that should be accountable to the Nigerian people. The Nigerian people are greater than the presidency. The Nigerian people are greater than the National Assembly.
Exactly.
So until Nigerians know this, they will continue to be mumus. So we, as advocates of this movement, we are determined to get answers, and we are saying that for the past 5 days, this president has become incapacitated and cannot be commander-in-chief. And we are saying in an ideal nation that even when a president falls sick and it becomes incapacitated for 2 weeks, he will resign. He will not need citizens to beg him to resign. And that is in nations where they understand what integrity means. So that is the principle upon which this movement is hinged. And for us there is no going back. It's a daily sit-out. We have been out since on Monday. Today is day 6.
Day 6, true.
And today Saturday we'll be out by 3 p.m. It's naturally 9 to 10 a.m. But because it's weekends, every weekend we'll be out from 3 p.m. to 4 p.m. daily.
And I understand that you've had some skirmishes with the Nigerian police force.
Yes, indeed.
That's fine. I hope that the police will be more friendly. You have said that the president cannot continue to remain in London infinitum, and Osinbajo cannot continue to act infinitum as acting president. But what I want to ask is this: has there been any short change in governance? Is there anything you think that the president would have done differently if he was around? Do you think there is a gap? Is there a gap in government?
Obviously there is, because you see, Osinbajo is not really in charge. He's not really out there. He's still the vice president that has no power. And you saw that on last week Sunday, where during the Anambra incident, where there was a church incident when people were killed, and the cabal never allowed Osinbajo to issue the statement. The president issued a statement. The president was supposed to be sick. The president allegedly issued a statement. You will hear that the president calls Soso person over the death of his mother. The president wrote a letter to Soso person. The president did this. Osinbajo should be the one that should be doing that if he was really acting. But we have seen this macabre dance before.
Exactly.
People recall. The irony of it all is that we were attacked by the police. The cabal that is packaging the president, arranging him to take pictures with people and doing all these things, they are not happy. They are not happy with what we are doing. They are not happy that we are asking questions. They want 80 million Nigerians to be mumu, and they are very happy that Nigerians are not coming out to demand for
explanation
of the president in various states. So they were extremely provoked that a few brave Nigerians, patriots, who come out and challenge what they are doing. So they released the police on us, who do tear gas us, use water cannons on us, release dogs to us, forcefully try to disperse us. They were undeterred. Even just yesterday, they went to a government that says it's fighting corruption. They went to hire some miscreants and thugs and criminals to come and counter us and protest at the Unity Fountain where we have been meeting. And just yesterday, while we were finishing around 10 a.m. in the morning, we were already finishing and about to leave. These miscreants, they just came from nowhere and surged towards us, and they were advancing towards us. It took the intervention of the police, to stop them. But we know this game. We know that it's all an arrangement. We have to suggest that the police, the SSS, and the cabal, they are all working together for the same cause. They want the military, the people that they have hired to clash with us, so that the police will issue a blanket statement that they have banned protests within the FCT, because there was a clash.
To protect lives and property.
Like we said, we are not going to be deterred and there's no going back. This daily protest will continue until the president returns back to Nigeria or he resigns. Those are the only options.
Hi, hello, Deji.
Yes, my brother.
Yeah, my name is Sibe. You guys, first of all, I need to say you guys are doing a very good job, and history and posterity will remember you and your partners. Amen. Who are doing all of this. Amen. Now, my question is, people get used to, just like we complain of inertia in the economy, your strategy currently of sitting out, at some point, it will look normal, and then they will continue and life goes on. Is there any plan to step up or try something else or re-strategize?
Yes, you see, we have different things that is wrong with Nigeria. From next week, we intend to continue the sit-out, but we will now sit out maybe in front of EFCC to ask the EFCC chairman, the president must resume or resign, that you say you have recovered so number of money, and we do not know where the money is. Who are the people that you recover this money from? We also have issues at INEC. So many things is wrong with our country.
And the Osborne Gate.
Osborne Gate.
Exactly. So we are very young and innovative. We know what we are doing. We have a strategy. And believe me, the world is hearing us. The world is hearing us.
I agree with you.
When we started, they said it's just 10 people. What can 10 people do? But look at how scared the cabal are today. Look at how scared Asorok is. Look at all the lies and look at all the attempts to try to derail us.
But Deji, you talked about section 144. I'm cutting you in now. You talked about invoking your section 144 of the Constitution. What exactly in that section do you want invoked?
Section 144 is clear. When a president becomes sick, something must be done. That is very clear. It says that a medical panel of inquiry of 5 members shall be constituted.
By the
and the personal physician of the president will also be a member. You understand?
Yes.
By now, Nigerians do not need them.
Okay. Look.
Asorok has said, by their own admission, Asorok has said that the president is sick. By their own admission, Asorok has said the president cannot continue in office. By their own admission. So the only way that Nigerians can know that this president, even if they do wuru and bring him back, like they have been doing, packaging him, making him to snap pictures, that cannot, convince Nigerians that the president is fit to continue.
That's fine.
Whether the president is fit to continue or not is by that panel, that medical panel. They are the only ones that can ascertain if this president can continue in office or not.
Deji, sorry, let me cut you in. Garba Shehu said something. He said that what you guys are doing is an irrational assault on the Constitution, because the president has complied 100% with the Constitution by handing over to the vice president as required by the Constitution. What is your response? That will be a final word. What is your response to Garba Shehu?
We are not surprised. You see, during the slave trade, Nigerians were defending the slave masters.
Exactly.
During the military era, Nigerians were supporting the military. We had the Daniel Kanos of this world. You know, Nigerians even registered political parties, 8 political parties, so that one military man can fly on the platform of all political parties. You know, so we're not surprised by the comments of Garba Shehu and some of those who still defend this, who still defend the indefensible. You know, our words are very simple. This president in the last 95 days has become incapacitated and cannot continue as commander-in-chief. A few people who are looking for influence peddlers, you know, people who are benefiting from graft, theft, with the incapacitation and the absence of the president, are the ones who are still holding on to power. You know, they will not stop to attack us, and because we know we are on the right path and the right course of history.
Fantastic.
We will not be derailed. We will not be derailed.
Yeah, Deji.
And we simply ask the world of the instance of 6.44.
Yeah, Deji. My name is Eugene Abels. I would like to quote, I know that if Buhari was himself, the president, if I refer to when he made a demand to President Yaradua, as a man of principle, I know if he realized that he was not of himself, he will honorably resign. I think that man is being held against his will. So I would suggest that in addition, the people should ask for, let people like you and an enlarged forum be allowed to visit and have a public interaction. Yes, a public interaction with him. Yes, because the man might be held against his will. It happened. Yaradua, it happened. For months, the man was kept incommunicado, out of reach of Nigerians. The vice president didn't know where he was. Eventually, when he passed on, the vice president didn't even know. He was smuggled into the country. It was akin to carrying out a military coup. We must not allow this to happen again. Please, I also like to suggest that hello? Yeah, if you're hearing us online, I would like to suggest that you guys stream whenever you're on the Unity Fountain, just stream live so that we can see what the proceedings are like there.
Fantastic. I think that we also need to.
Yeah, Deji.
Hello, Deji. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you
Now, what's the summary of Mr. Abel's question is that will you be willing to visit the president if
no, he'll be willing? A public interaction. After his residence in London is close to BBC and CNN.
We are not interested in visiting the president. You know, are we not tired of this?
I'm also
visiting in the essence is that, like, there's nothing wrong in being sick, but if you're saying the man, if they are saying he is well and he's not too sick and he's still himself in quotes, then let there be a public interaction beyond politicians. Yes, that's the least they can do. Then too, I said that
90 days not too long.
It is. Normally you should be fired.
To ridicule Nigeria.
Oh yes, I agree.
90 days not too long for all this packaging and repackaging.
It's in clear contravention of the public service rules. As our number one civil servant who applied 3 times to do this job. Yes, it is in clear contravention of it. It is an aberration. It should not stand. I would suggest that you people stream live when you do the sit out so that we can follow and see what's happening.
Sure, we'll start live streaming today.
Yeah, God bless you.
All right.
This is a welcome development. We will start it today.
All right, Deji. So what's your final word for listeners
in
the
River
program?
State.
Port Harcourt is listening to you. So what's your final word to Port Harcourt?
Yeah, my final word is Nigerians MyMumu don't do. It is time to start speaking up. It's time to ask the right questions. You can, even if it is one person that is starting, let Nigerians just start wherever you are. You can be in Port Harcourt, you can be in Cross River, you can be in Akwa Ibom. You can ask questions, take pictures, use the hashtag resume or resign, join the campaign. You don't necessarily have to be in Abuja on ground for your voice to be heard.
Okay.
Make a short video, say something, do something.
Fantastic.
For the whereabouts of your president, and don't be silent, because history will be unkind to people like Wole Soyinka, who in 2010, alongside with this president, asked for the full disclosure of the then president, late Yaradua, and also called for his resignation and impeachment. But who are silent today? History will be kind to the Bakaris of this world. History will be kind to the Safe Nigerian group of this world. History will be unkind, very, very unkind to anyone who is silent in the face of all this that Nigeria is going through. So it's in line with this that we ask and we urge every Nigerian to be actively involved in this resign or resume movement.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Deji Adeyanju, co-organizer of the MyMumu Don't Do protests, currently rocking the city of Abuja, Lagos. Eugene Abels, you've heard Deji Adeyanju.
Yes.
And their position is simple: invoke Section 144 of the Constitution. Is it not an overkill?
Right now, our president is incommunicado.
But not incapacitated.
Incommunicado, you don't have access to. You don't even know what's happening to him. There's so much less flip-flopping. The president is issuing statements in diaspora when there's supposed to be an acting president. People are being mischievous. Nobody, any establishment I run, nobody can do that with me. It's not possible. In line with the basic best practices, it's not possible. You cannot be giving me a reporter speech, third party speech that Sibe went to take a photograph with the president. No. And
they had a discussion. I had the ministers had a 1 hour.
What did you have a good?
Let me even come in here. First of all, Section 144 talks about a resolution of the Federal Executive Council, a 2/3 resolution declaring him unfit, health-wise, to continue to run. Now, this man is not around for them to assess him.
Even if he was around,
I'm just even giving. There are different scenarios, and first of all, assuming they are even independent-minded people, and they are not even seeing the man to assess him. So, given the instance of that lacuna of his absence, they should invoke that part of the Constitution and set up a panel. A medical panel is not necessarily saying the president should resign. They just want to allow professionals to ascertain his suitability and capacity to continue in that realm, in that exalted office as the president.
Now, it brings another thing to light. If all these are our employees,
but everybody there is loyal.
That's the second part. That's the second part. Can your staff vote
against? Yeah. Now, if everybody who will be fired. If everybody, now all of them are employees, and the employees are in two forms: either they're elected or they're hired as ministers as well. If they were loyal, if they were representing their people or the place where they come from, they could do that. But they're loyal. If you go on social media, you see them now, they just get very apprehensive. Let you begin to ask just basic rational questions. No organization, including the United Nations, that would permit you, let's even assume he had an accident. You know the situation of things. Everybody will work, pray, and convert resources in that direction. We're just in the bind. Nobody knows what's happening. It happened in Nigeria. It's a clear case of our MyMumu never do. It happened how many years ago? History is repeating itself again. And they're descending to the level of, so they're getting so rudimentary in the sense that the people are beginning to rent crowds and so on to counter where people are asking legitimate questions. And we're laughing.
And again, I find it very, when we say 95 days already, we're downplaying the real numbers. The numbers is that he has spent 51 days before now this year. And add that to 91 days.
We're being compassionate.
Who will allow his staff to be away 140, how many? 146 days in a year. In a calendar year. And we're only in August. And we do not know, we don't have full disclosure of what the issues are.
And the vice president, the acting president, is a struggle. You know, the last time he went on a blitz, media blitz, he was going high, and they panicked and packaged the man, brought him back. You obviously knew that the man was not, because you saw the video shots.
Mr. Abels, can I ask you a question? Do you really agree? That there is a gap in government?
There is.
Has there been anything that the president is supposed to do that Osinbajo is performing well?
If Osinbajo has full powers, let him dissolve the cabinet. Let him release the Osborne-Gate report. Let him direct the EFCC to give full disclosure of those they recover loot from. there will be nobody will give contrary orders or statements that the president cannot be issuing statements from abroad when there's a president. There can't be two presidents.
Ross, let me ask you.
You cannot be on vacation and be issuing statements as managing director of a company. It does not work that way.
When you have handed over
power,
Ross,
constitutionally, come on.
Ross, why did the president dissolve the cabinet, sacked PAMSEX when he came in? He wanted his own people there. Osibanjo did not employ anybody there. They can't be loyal to him. They can't, those ministers.
They are lucky not to Osibanjo.
They are not.
They are very lucky.
I'm trying to get through to one of our friends in the APC who should tell us, some
Call
view.
his name. Who be that? Obogara. Call them.
I'm trying to get through to Mr. Kingsley Wali,
Okay.
who should give us a clear view.
Call Sobela.
No, I think you should call a medical doctor from the
But you see what's going to happen right now? We will open the phone lines and then we will get your views, and the numbers to call are 081 0951 0951. I'll take that again. 081 095 10951. And the other number is 081 7000 0951. I'll take that again. 081 7000 0951. So you can join the conversation. Open edition today. We're talking about the president has been 96 days out of the country. We wish him well. But the question is, should the president resign? There's been this whole call, and what do you think? Should the president be allowed to rest and come back whenever he gets well? Or should the president honorably resign?
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. What's your name and where are you calling from?
My name is Awuvia, calling from Port Harcourt.
Okay, your contribution.
I think concerning the issue of the absence of the president is still on.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay, very well. Our Mumu don't do. I don't know why it is so difficult for a group of persons who claim to be people that want to bring about change, a better way of life to the Nigerian people. We behave the way these people are behaving. To the extent that the president, we don't know whether he has been kidnapped. We don't know whether he has been killed. We don't know where the president is. Even if some group of persons are going to see the president, see, why can't the president say a word to Nigerians that he begged to vote for him and he wants to transform the lives of these people to a better life? Why can't he say a word to these people? And they're hiding all these things. It is a shame that we have found ourselves where we are today. And Nigerians should take a lesson from it and decide to take a position to support this Mumu Don't Do campaign people, because it is terrible. I have not seen anywhere in the world whereby a servant will not tell his master what is his problem and where he is. He just go out like that and say he should not resign. He has fulfilled all the legal and constitutional rights, which is very, very wrong.
Exactly.
Morally, it is wrong. So constitution or no constitution, it is wrong.
Yes.
The acting president is not functioning well because he is not a full president. He does not have the right. He is consulting according to them. Each time he wants to take a decision, he will go and meet the president. If at all the president is anywhere, please, should I do it? What if the president says no? And the decision of the vice president, acting president, could be transform Nigeria to a better, society.
So
My final message is that the president should resign. He is, for now, is incapacitated. Whether temporary or permanently, he is incapacitated.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Technically incapacitated. Yeah, it's true. Please feel calling. The questions here.
We have another call. Okay, I think we lost it.
Yeah, because the man just simply said here that no, there's nowhere where a servant, an employee, will determine what he will do without telling his employer. Where the people are the employer of this man. This man is the number one civil servant of the country.
All right, Mr. Abels, we have some protesters online who are on Facebook and saying that, that we're sounding like we are all against the president. And please, nobody's against the president here. And we have Mr. Blessing Wikina on the line. Mr. Blessing Wikina, you're joining us now on Open Edition. Kmanero is actually on the run. So we've tracked Mr. Blessing Wikina down. Mr. Blessing, you understand the topic and what we're talking about. The president has been out for 96 days.
Hello, good morning.
Yeah.
Good morning.
Mr. Blessing, good morning.
Morning, senior.
Mr. Blessing, Mr. Blessing, sir, please greet your principal son properly.
Now, Mr. Blessing, the president has been out for 96 days. Should the president resign?
Pardon?
The president has been away for 96 days. Should
Plus
he resign?
54.
That has to do with a legal matter. First of all,
You have started,
those
though.
of us who will always ask the question as people who are talking from the other side.
Which side?
What I want to know, has he been out illegally? That's number one. Number two, in going out, did he do the proper thing? Was there a proper information on his doing what is required of him? Thirdly, if he didn't do any of this, then I think that's where the conversation will center on. I wasn't following the trend. I wasn't following the conversation.
Online, all right, that's fine. But I think I get your point. You don't see anything wrong.
Yeah, hello.
In the president now.
Hello.
Is that Kennedy Friday?
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Blessing, can you hear me?
Yes, basically we're saying that as the number one employee of the country, that irrespective of what, the Constitution does not provide for everything. And the least we expect is full disclosure.
All right, Kennedy Friday is on the line. Another clearly APC guy.
Well,
I think Kennedy.
Good morning,
Thank you very much for joining us. You're on Today FM. Your contribution,
Thank you
please.
very much, Mr. Ross, leader of the Young Rivers Intelligentsia. I greet you. I greet my elder brother.
That's the title he gives me all the time.
And of course, I greet the Grandmaster himself, Eugene Abels. I like what people have done this morning. But there's an aspect of the program that I will very respectfully disagree with.
Okay.
The Mumu Don't Do campaign, of course, those who are involved in that campaign are well within their constitutional right to freedom of expression and freedom of speech. They are right to do that campaign. They are right to demand some kind of accountability. They are right to demand, some kind of openness in the management of the ailment of Mr. President. However, what I don't approve is to say those who are doing counter protests are sponsored to so do. I think that would be wrong, because you cannot compel every cloud of opinion, in Nigeria to just subsume itself within that of our Mumu Don't Do campaign.
That's correct.
I agree with you. Everybody agrees with you.
Hello?
Everybody agrees with you.
We all agree with you. That's correct.
Hello?
I said we agree with you. Everybody agrees with you here.
Yes, I think that those who are saying that, look, we should not do this kind of campaign. Our president should get well soon and come and resume. Those people are also right, to try to say that the other people are sponsored and then our Mumu Don't Do campaign, they are not sponsored, is to say the least indulge in double standard. That is number one. Number two, the other question that we should ask is this: did the president confirm to the constitutional provision mandating him to transmit power to the acting president before traveling to the United Kingdom? I think the only reasonable answer is in the affirmative. He transmitted power constitutionally, and then it used on the acting president to act.
So that should be sustained infinitum, Kennedy.
Hello?
Are you saying that should be sustained infinitum? The president can be away up until 2019. Is that what you're saying?
I am not saying that, but I'm saying that we all know why the president is away, because he fully communicated that to the Senate and of course to Nigeria.
Kennedy, let me put you on the hot seat. Kennedy,
anybody can, yes.
Let me put you on the spotlight. You're a CEO. Your staff comes to you and properly communicates his intention to see a doctor, and then he leaves. Of course, there's no code of conduct. At the time you set up the company, you didn't envisage that, and then he leaves and never comes back again. What will you do?
After 3 months.
At what point will your Mumu do as a CEO to keep paying that employee of yours?
The only thing that came very clear to me, through this transmission is our Mumu Don't Do. I didn't quite get the question clearly.
Hello?
Hello?
Sorry?
Yes, I'm on. Yes. I didn't quite get your question clearly. I want to.
Okay, you didn't get the question clearly. Okay, I said,
yes.
Assuming you are the CEO of your company and you have a staff who rightly transmits his intention.
CEO of Kairos.
Kairos. Yeah, okay, yeah. You're the CEO of Kairos. The CEO of Kairos. And one of your Kairosian comes to you to say, and properly transmits his intention to see a doctor for medical care. And he leaves. At what point will your mumu be sufficient enough to know that, look, this man has gone ad infinitum and needs to be called to order? What is the upper benchmark? Knowing that the Constitution was silent on that, but however, that there is a civil service rule, a public service rule, that actually prescribes a term for that.
Well, thank you very much. First and foremost, we should ask ourselves, that company, does the company have written rules relating to that?
That's why.
Yes, the company has two sets of rules.
If the answer is no, then in the circumstance we are called to be human beings. We are called to show sympathy. Somebody is sick, who has been doing well for this country, who has been fighting corruption.
Kennedy, the company has two sets of rules.
We are called upon to empathize with that kind of person.
Kennedy, we refuse to empathize in
Kennedy,
this situation.
The first set of rules is in your employment letter. The second set of rules is in your handbook. And the handbook says you can't be away for more than a quarter.
Which are the labor laws that are enshrined in the Constitution.
The handbook is the public service rule.
Kennedy, let me remind you that this is becoming a case of impunity, and you know what that means. That we are
your favorite word.
Impunity. This has become your favorite word now. And so, don't you think that this is a case of impunity, that the president does not even talk back to the nation? That the nation does not know what is wrong with the president? Don't you think?
A nation in recession.
Is that not high-handedness?
I believe that the citizens of Nigeria are right to demand and to be answered for as to what is wrong with their president.
Thank you.
That is not in contention.
Let's stop on that note.
Thank you, Kennedy Friday. Thank you.
Your final word that we had is that we are right to protest. Thank you.
There's a right to protest, and that's correct. Nigerians have a right to know. All right, let's bring in another man who would not agree with you, Eugene Abels. His birthday is today, and so we're putting him on the show. Mr. Kmanero, Kingsley Wenendo Wale, I greet you. Welcome to the show
today. Whether you give us food or not.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Wale. Good day, sir.
Good morning, sir.
And happy birthday. Happy birthday. I must.
Happy birthday.
I want to start off.
Happy birthday. First of all, happy birthday, sir.
Sorry?
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday from out.
All right. Your contribution, sir.
First and foremost, let me congratulate you guys for at least trying to raise the bar of conversation.
Thank you.
And at least we are now beginning to see a system where people canvass opinions and views without insulting others. That is something to be joyful about.
Great.
Having said that, I like to join my friend Kennedy in saying that I'm not one person who is pleased with the fact that the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is indisposed, and we are made to speculate on the state of his health. Now, I begin to wonder what that's supposed to achieve. Having said that, well, it's an African thing. I want to believe maybe in the context of the African traditional system, nobody knows in the world king, and king then they die. That's the principle that we're applying here. But talking seriously now, I think having accepted the fact that I think it's a wrong thing to do, it's a wrong procedure to follow, for Nigerians not to be told what is happening to the president, how well he is, and we keep hearing that he's in high spirit. He's been in high spirit for the past 3 months. High spirit that we won't see him, but it's okay. That's politics, and I guess that's what even those who are opposed to the situation, most I would say, without fear of contradiction, that almost 90% of people who are asking for him to come back and all of that, politics too, because I do not know what part of the Nigerian law or the constitution that President Muhammadu Buhari has breached. like, I want to suggest that it is equally an act of corruption for us not to know what the president is going through or what his state of his health is.
Thank you very much.
Just as if it's an act of corruption too for people to make so much out of the fact that the president is not on seat, when in actual sense he has fully done what the law expects of him. There is a law aspect of it, then there is a moral aspect of it. The moral aspect of it is what I think that we're all against, that we are not being told what he is, what his state of his health is. But the legal aspect of it, that the man has not breached any law. But I know that the PDP people who are suffering from of anger, of not being around power,
they are far from the kitchen.
Kman, now you have made the point. Kman says that morally the president,
Yes.
morally
the president, but constitutionally has not.
What's the definition of integrity? One of morals, high moral standard.
And those who are paying that there is no free money any longer.
Now, Kman, Tombari is saying.
Now let me. There's an important aspect there.
Because it's in high spirit.
So where is integrity? If he fails the moral test?
He has not lost his what is that commodity? Now when they go to London and come back, they say he's still
It's a high spirit.
His sense of humor.
He has not lost his sense and his appetite for cartoon.
All right, Kingsley, thank you so much for joining us.
There's an important thing that Kman raised here. He said the issue of food corruption here. Now, why are you expending public funds and when you don't want to give full disclosure? Which part of the law are you quoting? If you say the man is sick, what are you treating him? Parking a private jet, keeping over 80 people in England, parking a private jet, creating an alternate government because they're still issuing press statement, and you're expending scarce resources for over 94 days without disclosing the true reason why you're there.
And our private jet is packed.
Our presidential jet is packed there, incurring ground rent in hard currency. It's a clear case of corruption, lack of integrity, lack of full disclosure. They know what the consequences are. Goodluck Jonathan is the reason why this thing is happening. If he had taught those Yaradua people a lesson by instituting a judicial panel of inquiry, why was the number one citizen handled in that way? We wouldn't have this repeat one I've got.
No, but
that's why I quarrel with name people most time they say embarrassing. Leave him, don't do, no worry. No, this is the reason.
But now Kman raised the fundamental point. The point he said is that you can look at this constitutionally and morally. And then Sibe makes a great point. Sibe says, how do you test integrity? Integrity is the test of morality.
Let's even
Right Honorable Rotimi Amechi also said something. He said that there is no morality
in politics.
There is no morality.
So this politics
in government.
I agree with
so if we take away the morality out of it, that means only the constitutional based on Amechi's standards.
Okay, but if you take that, now I'll bring you back to the word infinitum. Are you saying that Buhari can be in hospital in London till 2020?
It looks like the constitution may.
In 2020.
No.
What will happen?
Let me tell you something. The constitution is not a magic book.
Yes, it does not provide for everything.
There are amendments as you encounter different scenarios. In this particular instance, just as in the case of the Yaradua case, they didn't contemplate the issue of somebody refusing to transmit
power
or the clear definition of what a transmission is. Now, in this particular instance, they did not contemplate that the person will stay endlessly.
Okay.
So now, fortunately, we have a public service rule book that clearly says that if you're not hospitalized, you have a maximum of 42 days.
Wow.
And if you're hospitalized, you have a maximum of 90 days.
And he's a public servant.
He's the number one public servant of this country.
Yes,
and after that 90 days, we're not saying they should sack you or anything. We're saying that in that public service rule, they're supposed to now raise a medical panel to ascertain your continuous suitability and capability.
In the public service, when you fail, you're issued a query. Who will issue the president the query?
Before the query, in line with what Sibe is saying, What if those his aides are holding him against his will? Because they said even his wife has to seek consent before she goes to see him.
Who said that?
In the media now, that's where we get all the information.
That's not what we have from Lai Mohammed. Lai
Well,
Mohammed says that he's in constant consultation
Lai Mohammed is in
With who?
Nigeria.
with people around.
Lai
with
Mohammed is in
people,
Nigeria.
with people
Lai
around the
Mohammed has not
president.
shown capacity for
But now,
integrity.
if we're using the public service rule book like Sibe has said,
Yes.
in the public service where
Yes.
it defaults
Who issued the query?
on regularity and stuff like that, you are issued a query.
Yeah.
Who will
The
issue
Senate-
the
Senate-
president a
the
query?
Senate-
Because
the
obviously
National-
everybody
the
around
National
the employer-
Assembly-
We are the employers.
The National
the people,
Assembly
and
plays-
like the doctrine of necessity, which Sibe just cited, we are issuing that query.
And so the people,
The queries are Mumu done
the
too.
people are
Where
represented
you?
by the Congress, by the National Assembly. What has the National Assembly done so far?
And that's why we are calling on them.
Them.
Well, that's why we're
To
here.
issue
That's
that
why
query.
people are talking. People
The
are
query
talking.
is not an indictment of the man, it's an indictment of the
A
situation.
medical panel could go there and come back and say, yeah, this man is still
yes.
okay.
What if the
A
medical,
medical panel
panel?
is not necessarily
What
passing
is-
a sentence of you have to resign. No.
Yeah.
What if the medical panel
It's just to see
has the minister?
we're
The
bringing
medical
in media
panel must
aids.
have, the medical panel must have IFIH on it.
The medical
Or
panel
the-
must have
or
the
Charlie
president's
Bob.
personal
Yes.
physician,
Yes.
according to the constitution. Section 144.
Which is true.
You must have the president's personal physician in that panel.
Wow. Gentlemen, thank you very much. We just have 1 minute to go. Mr. Eugene Abels, your final word. Should the president resume, resign, or should there be doctrine of necessity by the National Assembly?
The National Assembly should show that they are not there for themselves, but they are represented by calling for the system to be queried and people to be made answerable.
The system or the president to be
The
queried?
system currently now, who are the people running things?
Do we need a constitutional amendment in that respect?
We need a new constitution.
Fantastic. Tombari?
Get well, Mr. President, but we have a country to run. So in the instance, I would pray, while I pray you get well, I also would advise in a country where the life expectancy is 52, somebody who has lived up to 7-something definitely needs a little more health and medical attention and care. I think the problem of Nigeria is too complex for that category of person who ordinarily would have been retired from office.
Thank you very much, Tombari Robinson Sibe. My final word is that, like they say the president
And
is
we love
still...
you, Mr. President.
Oh well, that's
Come
what you
back
guys have
home,
to
boo-boo.
say. Just like they say that the president has still not lost his sense of humor. I will pray that the president continues to be in good spirit as we expect and hope that he gets back healthy. Until next week, Saturday, same time, on another edition of Open Edition. Thank you for listening. See you again.
It is an open edition.